Hi everyone, it's Lou Collins. Today I'd like to firstly introduce you to a new collection from Textures called Woodlands, and these are two of the elements from that collection, but also to teach you how to bring your die cuts to life. So if your die cuts are looking a little bit flat like this one here, super cute, but could do with a little bit of texture and dimension, and you'd like them to look more like these below, I'm going to give you lots of top tips for achieving this look really easily, probably with craft products and tools that you've already got at home. Now, if you love the look of the Woodlands collection, you can see more by checking out the link below. And of course, if you're a CraftStash VIP member, you're going to get 10% on your items as well as knowing that this is an exclusive collection, so you're not going to find it anywhere else. And even if you could, you would get the CraftStash best price guarantee on it. So as I say, I have got my layered die cuts here completely flat just from cardstock. I have actually included a patterned paper underneath, but still we need to lift and elevate this image a bit more to make them look more like these. So let's just pop these to the side. I'm going to take this one apart. I've not glued it together yet. So it's got 3 layers, and this is from the Squirrel and Hedgehog die set. Now this has the squirrel, as you can see. It also has the coordinating hedgehog too, a similar sort of size, and we have the additional embellishments that they can hold, be standing on and such like too. Now I'm also using my patterned paper pack from the same Woodlands collection. Lots of beautiful imagery in this, and I've used one of the book page elements to cut one of my layers from. So that is my first point. You don't always have to use plain cardstock or plain paper to cut your elements from. Try cutting your layers from a patterned paper. You can still have the base colour similar to what you'd like it to be, but when you cut it from pattern paper, you immediately get texture and dimension in there. The next tip is if you are working with a solid or plain cardstock. So I've got this red orangey colour cardstock for my squirrel, but again it needs some texture. I need to add something more to it, so I'm going to do that by just doing a little bit of smooching onto it. Now I always find the word smooching funny, but it is a technique that is used usually with the Tim Holtz Ranger Distress inks and Distress Oxides, but it can be used with any water-based ink. So I'm going to take a resistant matte, and for this colour I'm going to take a similar colour, maybe ever so slightly darker. So to keep the red, I'm going to go with Aged Mahogany here. I could go with a brown, which is what I did on this one here, but Aged Mahogany will be perfect. So I'm going to smooch just a little bit, or smoosh. Some people like to say smoosh. I just like the word smooch, onto the mat, and I'm going to spritz some water onto there. Now, depending on how much water you use, depends on the different look you're going to get and how much you actually water down that ink, so how bold it is. So if you're new to this and you're a little bit nervous about getting inky, maybe use a little more water because the effect will be less apparent. So I'm going to turn over my die cut. I'm just going to smooch or press that into the ink there, and already you can start to see that texture. Now this is going to be subtle because we've gone with a fairly similar colour. The beauty of using distress oxides rather than inks is that we're actually going to get the oxidization as that dries, so we'll get some different variations with some of the chalky texture coming through as well as the dark dye ink as well. So you can do that in one layer and then dry it and leave it. If you're happy but you'd like to emphasize it some more, you can reuse the ink on your mat and do it twice. So I'm going to do just that. So we can see we've got lots of texture in there, but overall you still have the same plain colour. Now if I turn this over, you'll see how this started as a comparison. So lots more depth and interest on there. Now I'm going to also add a shadow around this. This is just adding some shading so that the body of the image looks more rounded, it looks more realistic. You can see that I've actually done that with a brown on both of these around the edge. It's subtle, but it's well worth doing. Now I'm going to be using a dark brown. I'm going to use ground espresso. And I'm going to use this same colour for both the layers. So I'm going to use it for this top layer, but also for this bottom layer as well. So by using the same colour, it just brings both together quite nicely. And all I'm going to do is with the ink on my blending brush is I'm actually going to brush up the edge. I'm holding it in the air and I'm going to brush up the edge of the die cut from the bottom up, just little flicks, just touching with the bristles. I'm not blending all the way into the cardstock at all. I'm just flicking those edges, and as you can see, we're starting to get that outline. Now I tend to go a little heavier, a little bit further in on areas that would be underneath, such as under the tail here, and I'll do the same under the body here also. So just first of all do my little flicks around the foot, and then go in a little bit heavier just underneath where there would be natural shadows. You don't need to worry too much about that, but it's just something that I like to do. And by flicking just gently like this, you're not going to get too much on, you're not going to accidentally deepen the colour too far. So already you can see the depth that we've really built up there. Now I'm going to do that on this one also. With this bottom layer, I know there's only a few areas that are actually visible, so I'm not going to waste my ink. I'm just going to do it on the areas that we'll actually see. Okay, time to just build this up before we do the last few tips at the end. Now, because I've added the outline with the ink, I can glue these two down completely flat to each other. The dimension is naturally added with the shading from the inking. Now this character and my hedgehog do have eyes that already naturally have highlights within the die cut, but if you want to show any sort of shine on your items, and this doesn't have to be animals or characters, it can just be items like, for example, the toadstools that I have within the collection as well. If you'd like to add some shine, a white pen is perfect for this. Just go around a few small areas. Now this one takes a moment to show up white, but as you can see there, and I just pick one direction. So I'm imagining the light's coming from this way, so it would be hitting the edge of the tail there, the back. Now with a squirrel, not necessarily would you need this, but I think if you want it to look like it's got a glossy fur coat, then it's a nice idea. And one last thing to finish off the look is I shape the die cut, and I usually do this with my fingers rather than with any tools. So I'll just go round bending, more than anything bending the outer edges in so that the animal looks domed. Like I say, this doesn't have to be animals or characters. These techniques can be used for lots of different images that you may have within your die cuts. So objects as well, and I'm just folding it. So for example, if I put my finger down behind the body there and I just bend around my finger, that's going to curve the body slightly. So if I put that down, you can see that curve. Then I'm going to do the same with the head. I'm going to do this with my finger this way. Could lift up those ears just a little bit, lift up the nose, lift up the arm and the foot, make sure they're not too flat. I've already done the tail. The tail is a huge area, so it's a little bit harder, but as you can see there, let's just give this a little bit of shape. And then what I would do to keep that shape on my card is I would use foam pads down the center of each of these sort of cylinder shapes, and I would use a wet glue around the edge, and that will stop the inside from being able to be pressed down. So there's lots of tips for you for just elevating your die cuts and making them look more textured, more dimensional on your projects. I hope you found this helpful. If you love the look of this Woodlands collection from Textures, you can shop those items just here. And please do subscribe to the CraftStash YouTube channel as well, just here, for lots of tips and techniques like this. And we think you're absolutely going to love this video just here. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you again very soon.